This is your friendly neighborhood maniac, Matt Hatter, and you are listening to Sit Down Marks with DB, AJ, and Primo! And welcome to my wonderland.
Hey, yo.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge me. What it is. Come on, everybody. Come on in. Sit down. Episode number 140 of the Sit Down Mars podcast. If you can feel the excitement in my voice right now because it's coming through, man, I'm excited about this podcast today, man. I'm glad you guys are joining us. I want to thank everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube right now. And we want to thank everybody listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, all those podcast platforms out there. We want to thank all our friends at SportsWireRadio.org for playing the show each and every week. I want to thank those guys over there. We really do appreciate it. And want to thank, I wanted to take a second and thank all of our new listeners. The podcast have had a lot of new downloads lately, and a lot of new interests, a lot of follows, and we're real appreciative, man. And we're excited. If you're listening to the podcast for the first time, or if you're new to the pod, welcome. Let's spread the good word of wrestling, my people. But first of all, let me talk to you about the Marks with me today. The OGs are back in town. Well, one's back in town. One's been here, but one is back in town. Primo, can you believe it? AJ is back, baby.
Welcome back, you beautiful man. It's been a while.
Look at his
since I've been here with you. Last time you were here, I ran away to go watch some kids play soccer on a pitch like you told Dirty. So I'm back, and you're back, and we're all together.
I drew a Yeti. That's what I'm doing in this.
It's not.
I mean, I'm here.
Welcome
back, buddy. Good to see you. I've been doing this forever, and you guys just aren't appreciating. This is my welcome back gift to you. I drew you a nice Yeti. I signed it. And all you're doing is making fun of my childhood dream of being an artist. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back. It's been a while, and I miss you guys. Dylan, you too. I haven't talked to you I just kind of blew the lead there a little.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Let's blow the lead together.
Hello, mystery.
Joining us on the podcast today, one of my independent wrestling biggest friends in the world. I see this guy at shows all the time. He is the true independent professional wrestling road tripper, if there is one out there. He holds the moniker for it. And he's been on the podcast before, but we brought him back to talk a little wrestling today. We're going to talk about his weekly write-up of all the best independent wrestling shows that are going on, and we're going to talk about Dreamwave, of course, coming up this weekend. A big show to finish out the year. But coming back to the podcast, you know him as Dylan. You might have seen him with a green hat on a time or two. Dylan, my man, welcome back, brother. Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Back and better than ever.
Yeah, man. Yes, you are. It's been a minute. We couldn't remember what episode number you actually were at, when you were on the pod previously. But it's been a while. I've got to see you and known you. Get to know you a lot more since those days. And now I get to see a Dreamwave a lot, and man, what a super big card coming up this weekend, Friday night and Saturday night, man. Are you ready to hit the road, brother?
So ready. Not so much ready for the drive, but more than ready for 2 shows, 2 Rumbles. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait.
So tell the people out there, they heard me say road tripper. So tell the people out there, exactly, how many hours you putting in this weekend getting to Dreamwave.
This weekend isn't terrible. About 5.5 to 6 each way. 11, 12, something like that overall. It's not bad.
Whoop. Little audio there. Yeah, all right, cool, man. Yeah, so just putting in the hours, to get to Dreamwave. So, but that's nothing for you. You do that on a weekend basis most of the time, unless there's an off weekend. I still have yet to see anybody that puts more hours on the road like you do. You're a big fan of the Midwest area, but of wrestling, but you're kind of branching out, wanting to what's the farthest you'll drive to go to a show?
Oh, it all just depends on like the level of talent on the show.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The farthest I've done, I think, is about 8, getting up to Des Moines for Revolver and Crown Point for Black Label. Those were both 7.5, 8 or so. I think the actual farthest I've driven was from a Des Moines Revolver show on a Saturday to a Jeffersonville, Kentucky GCW show the next Sunday morning. That was I think it was like 9 or 10 straight through shot.
Ooh,
That's about the farthest. Anything
Sure.
over that's a little bit too extreme.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a really good card for that.
Right.
But
yeah.
normally I'm in the 5.5 to 6 range most of the time.
Yeah, I think 9 might be the longest I've ever drove for one show, but like 8. But I wouldn't do that anymore. That was like in my younger, hungrier, days, and I think this might have been back before too much of the stuff was streaming. Back in the old days, walking, but real quick, man, before we jump into it, you write this weekly blog write up. We were trying to come up with the name of it, but it's basically the big independent wrestling shows that are going on each week. You always drop a write up about like which shows to tune into. Usually dropping that on usually Wednesday or Thursday. I think normally Wednesday maybe. So you kind of get a leg up. I look forward to it because I now. It makes me lazy because I can just look at what you wrote to see what the big shows are coming up this weekend instead of, having to look, myself. So just real, tell us how that come about, man, and what motivates you to do it. How, just, talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So like we said, is it a blog? Is it a preview? Who really knows?
Right.
I'm at a point now where just life is so busy. I pretty much just talk about the shows I actually care about instead of trying to find any like mid-major indie across the country. Just the ones that weekend that I care about watching, I'm interested in watching. I'll go through, I'll lay out the card, or at least the announced matches. And then I took some inspiration, I guess, from some of the college football podcasts.
Sure.
At the end of it now, I do like different categories of like the 5 matches I'm most excited for, somebody to keep an eye on, which show I think is going to be the best show, just to kind of have a little bit more than just here are the matches and here's what's going to be awesome. Really started doing it just because I was bored. It was right after COVID, so, sitting at home a bunch, just watching TV, and did it as just something to use up my time kind of. And I was watching all these shows anyway, and kind of like you said, was going through and looking at cards and seeing which shows I cared about.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm not going to get famous off of it. It's just a fun hobby, just something to keep me going. And like you said, it's normally comes out Wednesday night or Thursday night. I try to do it a night before the main shows start. So if it's a normal weekend where everything gets going on Friday, I'll put it out on Thursday. But if there's a Thursday night show, I try getting it out on Wednesday night so everybody has a chance to read through that Thursday show before it's already going on.
Nah, it's great, man. I'm gonna tell you that because you're my friend, but it is, man. It's awesome. If you're an indie wrestling fan, it's like your TV guide for the weekend. You know what I mean? Like that. If, to go and see what what's going on. Oh, okay, cool. Friday nights, WrestleMax. I can go see that. And Saturday, Beyond. You know what I mean? So you're like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? So it's you kind of do the dirty work. You kind of break it down. For all of us other independent wrestling fans and of the shows that are going on and stuff. So I think it's super cool, man. So how can people get to this link?
So the easiest way would probably be to go through my Twitter or my Instagram. I have it linked in the bio of both of those, and that would be at D Hager J15 on both of those. If you want to go directly to the website, it is dhagersports.wordpress.com. That's DHAGER sports.wordpress.com. But it's a lot easier. At least I think it's easier just to go through my socials. I have that week's pinned to the top of the page and the direct link to the website in the bio on both of those.
All right, cool, man. Yeah. Like I say, I think it's super cool, man. So before we move on and get to it, man, it's December, Dylan. You went to a lot of shows this year. What's your show count right now?
It is. I'm going to hit 50 at the end of the year. So right now I'm at 45 or 46.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're hitting 2 this weekend. You're getting 2 out of the way this weekend. Yeah.
Last year I hit 60 even. The year before was an even 50. And this year I've had a couple that I ended up just not going to, and then a couple cancel. So I wasn't going to be.
You're just a slack ass. You need to pick it up.
Oh, I know it. I know it. College football came around, and I was like, God, do I want to drive 6 hours this weekend?
I know, right?
So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll hit 50.
All right. Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Yeah, but I appreciate the work on that, man. You know, more people are getting used to seeing it. I think wrestlers are starting to getting used to seeing you mention, some of their names on, the ones to watch, the matches you're excited for and that kind of stuff, man. So it's super cool, man. It donates to the world of indie wrestling, helps bring it up. So I appreciate your work, man. So thank you, brother.
Well, thank you.
All right, boys, let's get to the hot start, man. Let's talk a little bit of wrestling. Topic number 1. Let me just say this right now, and y'all can jump in with me on this, okay? Nobody outside of wrestling fans can ever make fun of us for watching wrestling. You know why? Because all of these motherfuckers that tuned in watch fucking Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. 60 million people got worked, and we saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, these people were genuinely disappointed that this fight went off. Like, oh, this fight sucked. Mike didn't really punch. And like, I don't know, man. I would just laugh and I go, and they make fun of us for watching wrestling sometimes. I'm like, get out of here, man. Y'all just got worked over by Netflix, and the stream didn't even half work.
I know a guy, like, one, we put it on at the bar just because, like, I didn't give a shit about it, but, like, people were like, oh, put the fight on. I'm like, you mean the fight, quote unquote? And people were, like, getting mad at me, one, that I didn't put on at, like, 7 or 7:30. I'm like, it's not going to happen till, like, midnight. But anyways, whatever.
Right.
There were people that I know that were betting on Mike Tyson. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's a gimmick fight. It's not a fight. Like, all they're doing is they're going to go out there and, like, hug a little bit, and Mike Tyson's going to visibly pull his punches. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. People were so mad.
It was a money grab, man. If y'all didn't see that, come on.
I mean, I'm surprised that anybody got to watch it with the entire time. Netflix was out there spitting and putting. You know what I'm saying? So it was up there. It was maximum 25% down buffering, and everybody was bitching to me. I had people literally calling me, asking me how my Netflix was working and theirs wasn't. So anyway, yeah, the fight was what it was. Tyson got a payday. Who is surprised?
Right.
I mean,
I don't blame Mike for wanting to get paid, man. Like,
no, fuck that.
Love the guy getting paid. Like, but just like, how did you look at this and go, yeah, this is a real fight? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on. Okay, so if they really want to, like, screw the pooch, they better fucking fix that shit before Monday Night Raw comes on Monday. Imagine wrestling fans not being able to see wrestling on Monday because of a little spinny wheel.
Oh, yeah, TV. Because of the buffering.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
That starts soon, right? Like January?
Yeah. January.
I mean,
January, yeah.
Granted, there's not going to be as many people probably tuned into Monday Night Raw that there was at the fight.
You don't think 60 million people are going to tune in?
But I'm going to be pretty pissed off if I don't get to watch it just because some yahoos want to be in there watching it with me.
Right.
That is for us. It's not for you.
It's for me. Yeah, you can't be a fan now.
Yeah, get out of here.
Did you watch this, Dylan?
The fight I did not. I was at a wrestling show, believe it or not.
You were at a real fight.
There was a bunch of people at the show trying to stream it, and they're like, Netflix isn't even working. And internet doesn't work in most indie venues anyway. But
we streamed it illegally. Yeah. I mean,
that one probably. Well, I heard the illegal streams worked. It was all.
Oh yeah, they did. It was
on Netflix.
It was fine.
I heard actual boxing writers say I was supposed to write about this for my job, and Netflix wasn't working, so I had to find an illegal stream to watch the fight so I could do my professional job.
Right.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, man.
What a joke.
Yeah, it was funny, man. All right, guys. Topic number 2. Let's move on. Primo,
Sir.
So the Hardy Boys, they have just decided to stay with TNA.
Right?
They re-signed for a little bit longer, and they're going to be able to take independent bookings. What do you think about this?
I mean, if they're going to keep working, honestly, I think TNA is probably the best spot for them, because they're able to stay over there and do their thing without being hurt by people in AEW. So, and then they're just, I don't know, the next time we see them in WWE, if we ever do, that's when they're hanging it up.
Yeah. They're not Hall of Fame or nothing that yet. They haven't been gone away or whatever. So, I think this works for them. They can still do indie bookings, still, make some money in the conventions, and that kind of stuff. But I haven't seen them wrestle too much lately because, I can only watch so much wrestling, and so every now and again I'll flip over to TNA, but I haven't had a chance to, see them on screen or nothing. But I have seen them both, and both of them look in great shape. Jeff looks good.
They look fine for dudes, doing what they've been doing for as long as they've been doing it.
Yeah.
Especially dudes that jump off ladders and shit like they do. I mean, I'm surprised they can even walk. Especially
Jeff, man, right? Like, we all looked at him going, man, he's going to be bent over, barely even be able to walk. But, man, I guess he knew how to bump, right? Like, to do it for that long. So, all right, Dylan, let's move to you, man. Topic number 3, JBL. Back in the wrestling scene, dude. You're a GCW guy. You've seen him on there. You think he's good to be back, and you think he's good for jumping in the indies?
I think it's good just because I don't exactly know what's happening. He's popped up all over the place, so it's an intrigue, and it's not been with a bunch of. There hasn't really been a pattern. It's not like every other week he's showing up at this certain show. He's been on TNA. He's been on GCW. I know he's been in I know it was Mexico. I forget if it was CMLL or AAA, but he's been all over the place. And the look of the cowboy hat and the duster, it actually looks pretty sick.
Right.
I'm just interested to see where it goes. What's the payoff to all this?
Right.
I don't know if I need to see him in a match necessarily, but if it's in a big gimmick multi-man tag match, they can hide his stuff, that might be fine. But what little bit I'm seeing, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like he's not being too involved yet. He's not kind of, for the lack of better terms, he's not Bully Ray in it. He's not like all over your TV, and a bunch of things right now. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested too, man. And it's I don't know, man. He was probably on the list of one of the guys I thought I'd never see on the indies. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a shocker too still. So, all right, topic number 4, AJ, this one's for you, my friend.
Yes.
How do you like the newly crowned United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura? But do you like his new gimmick? Do you like the Great Muta influence, the Great Kabuki influence? This is your guy, man. So I got to hear your word on this.
I have so much to say about this. I was like, I'm glad you're bringing this up now because I was seriously going to monopolize all of Survivor Series just to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura. So I'm glad. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to give you a little spoiler right now. I don't care about Survivor Series this year apart from that. Wait until we rate it. I'm stupid. I love it. I love it. It feels like he's a big deal again.
Yeah.
The theme song, which I like the kind of Japanese remix that they did of it. The look is fucking awesome. The entrance is awesome. I love everything about it. I went absolutely apeshit nuts when he came out, and then I totally expected him to lose. I thought for sure that he was just going to come out and job to LA Knight, which I'm glad that he didn't. I'm glad LA Knight got all the offense in and Shinsuke just kept kicking out. The whole new gimmick, he needed something, and it's like they're finally. This is going to sound weird, but finally giving him something he can sink his teeth into. If that makes any sense. Of course, I say all this now, but in 2 weeks, he's going to job to Carmelo Hayes or something like that. But right now, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it so much. I'm such a Shinsuke fucking mark, and the fact that they did all that, Can't get enough of it.
Yeah, it's like deep, dark, mysterious. I see Great Kabuki in him a little bit. Let the dude spit mist, man. Just keep doing that. Make it like green, like Kabuki or something.
Like I love like the eye makeup. Or
yes,
he looks like he's
I do too.
Beaten up or dead, and
I love the new Titantron videos and stuff. It's very
with
anime kind of. It's dope, right? Yeah.
I seriously, I just went nuts when all that happened, and I loved it so much.
He won we'll talk about it shortly, but he won the belt. I was like, let's go. I was like, I was like, AJ somewhere is happy right now.
I was thrilled. I was so happy. I'm going to be sad for the follow-up.
Last topic of the hot start here, boys. Collectively together, man. I'm only mentioning it because it's kind of my favorite time of the year for AEW. Are you guys excited, man, or whatever? But I'm pumped that they brought the Continental Classic back. I hope it's a yearly holiday tradition, because I felt like when I was most paying attention to them was last year. Other than just kind of watching and seeing what was going on. Like when I was really paying attention was during this tournament because of the matchups and it was the whole Eddie story that was awesome last year. It was good. I'm pumped to have this back. What do you think about it, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm excited. AEW always has good matches, but there's not always a good reason for them to be having that good match.
Sure.
And if nothing else, the Classic gives them a reason because the tournament. I'm a sucker for tournaments in wrestling anyway. And this year, just the way the blocks sorted out, we have Okada and the Beast Mortos in the same block. And that's what I'm most looking forward to in all of wrestling, I think. So yeah, I love it. I'm glad it's back.
Yeah. It puts a little more something on there, weekly programs to tune in because you kind of see what matchups are coming, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. All right, boys, let's get to one of the two things we're going to talk about most today. Let's start with AEW Full Gear, man. Let's burn through this and see the interest on this. So just a couple weeks ago, November 23rd, this one was in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. They started off pretty hot with this tag team opener, which was a 4-way tag title match. Private Party retained over Acclaim. The Outrunners, I think they're called Kings of the Black Throne now. I think Malachi and them.
I think,
but correct. I felt like this was and I was all for it, but it kind of felt like this was almost like an Outrunners showcase match, kind of, right? And I like that they're putting some stock into these boys because the one time they were at Dreamwave, man, I just I enjoy throwback 80s gimmicks, and they're coming to the ring now with this VCR filter on the TV and stuff. So But I think this match too was used to just kind of lead to the inevitable Acclaim breakup. Seemed like so. But I thought this match was good. For what it did. Private Parties. They're kind of the match with Young Bucks to win the titles is awesome, but they're kind of riding a little high right now. You know what I mean? So, did you guys enjoy this one at all? Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically all I can say about it.
Yeah, like you said, DB, I was happy to see the Outrunners after seeing them in person a couple of times, and being on that spot's really cool. Yeah. But other than that, I kind of equal AJ's just.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Second match.
You're hearing that a lot from me, by the way.
MJF beat Roderick Strong by armbar. Which basically led to Adam Cole and the Kingdom to make the save after MJF does a post-match chair attack, and then Kyle O'Reilly shows up after that to beef with Adam Cole. Does anybody else feel like Adam Cole's kind of digging out of a hole? You know what I mean? I feel like nothing's working with him lately, and with stop starts with his injuries and. And man,
how much you want to bet he will be retired by? I'm going to say summer. Thank you.
I'll take that bet by summer.
I think he'll get injured again, and I think he'll be like, "I'm no more. I'm done." I mean, because he gets hurt every, and it's not like a 2-month ankle sprain or something. He's getting seriously injured.
He shattered his ankle last time when he did that jump.
So I if not by summer, by next fall, within a year from now, I think he'll be done. Which makes me sad because I love Adam Cole. That's my prediction, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just seems like he's I don't know. It's kind of like he was hot, and then they keep wanting to go back touching on this MJF feud. I'm like, just leave that alone, man. Like, I don't think anybody else is interested in it, but it's like they don't know what to do with him. But I don't know. We'll see. Could be the reason we say this a lot, but AEW. But next match was Mercedes Moné. She retained the TBS championship by roll-up victory on I didn't write her name down. Chris Statlander.
Thank you.
Yes, there you go. And what was crazy, this was probably Mercedes' best match yet, and she kind of screwed up a lot during it. But I mean, it was what it was. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's like the AEW crowd looking at her. Maybe the WWE crowd likes her, but it just doesn't seem, like this. The I'm money.
We liked what she was.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. You know what I mean? And
I didn't.
Nobody likes this,
We, AJ.
New thing. And now she's breaking up with Camille now already.
You on a ride? I did. Slow clap. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I've been off the whole Mercedes Moné bandwagon for
I
a
was,
while.
I remember when she debuted. I actually don't remember when it was. I just remember not being excited.
I mean, all of us, we had a collective. All right.
I was really on a bandwagon. I was the first one to say I was really on a bandwagon. Like I loved it. I thought a lot of her matches were great. You know what I mean? Like that one with Bailey always sticks out in my mind in NXT.
Back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But like now, I'm
looking at her now. That one match.
I'm like, what happened? No, I'm just saying, like, just as a reference point. But I mean, so I was just looking at her now, like, man, like, it's not. I mean, I don't think people get worse at wrestling. It's just I feel like they maybe like with her sometimes, like it's too much leaning on the gimmick and should be more wrestling, but whatever here or there. But next match was my favorite on the card if I had one, of course, because Jay White's my guy. But he beat Adam Page with the Blade Runner, which I was kind of surprised by this. He ran, they kept talking about, I think he was 4-0 against Adam going into this match, and he won. I was like, well, he's got to lose eventually, but he won again, so now it's like 5-0 or something on him. But I don't know. I'm enjoying this little feud they kind of had going on. So I was just glad to see Paige move on from Swerve. I was over that one. I don't know about y'all.
Well,
I didn't love the match as much as I thought I would. Right. I really liked both guys, but there was just something off about it to me, and I think it's because they were both working over the other's leg, so it turned into like two one-legged guys in an action.
Right, hobble fest.
It just felt like slow and awkward to me. Yeah. But I like both guys, and I like what they've done in the aftermath since. So
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was just me.
Yes.
Next match. Next match was Kyle Fletcher. He beat Will Ospreay in a kind of a crazy match, man. Ospreay basically threw everything at Kyle, but he wins. I think it was by brain buster off the ropes, which was crazy. And they had this other spot too where they did like a tombstone on the steel stairs. Man, fuck that, man. Man, come on. Like, we ain't got to do that, man. Like that scares people more than it makes people go, oh yeah. To me, like, I'm like,
yeah. Do you really want people going like making that noise when you
I know. This match helped Kyle. I think this match helped Kyle a lot, but I mean, I don't know. They were trying to steal the show. I felt like, they were just, which, I'm all for it. But, man, I'm just like, I think it was like that twisty one, too. Twisty one, like, what do they call the damn thing? Like Tombstone, but it's like you turn, like spinning.
It's twisty,
Is it spinning
like,
Tombstone?
Like
twisty driver, twisty like spinning.
Like Zangief in Street Fighter 2?
Exactly. Zangief. With red trunks on, too.
Yeah.
Next match was the champagne celebration. terrible. Shirakawa. Yeah, this was awful, man. This is terrible. It's bad TV. Like, I hate when I'm watching a pay-per-view at any point. Like, I go, man, I paid for this.
Yeah.
I worked.
You get angry.
Sometimes, yeah. So, but next up was pretty good. I did decently like this match. Daniel Garcia won the TNT title by sharpshooter on Jack Perry. What'd you think? You guys think of this match? What'd you think of Jack Perry's TNT title run? Did you like his personalized title? Did it do anything for him? You think?
No. It did nothing for anyone, including.
I mean,
like Jack Perry himself was like, "This is stupid. Like, I'm bored with this." You can tell he had like some semblance of like creative control over it too, and he was just like, I'm terrible at this.
Right.
This is awful. He's just not believable.
Blood on the championship.
I thought it was jam. Like he was making toast, and
he did one of those paintings where you sling the paintbrush at it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then you flip it upside down. Elvis or something like. Next match was Konosuke Takeshita. He retained the AEW International Championship by Avalanche Falcon Arrow, which was. I thought this would be better, man. You know, I really did. But.
Why do they keep giving Ricochet a microphone in AEW?
It's like no talkie, flippy.
Yeah. Don't do that. I just want to see him.
Worky.
No talkie.
It's like they're trying to prove a point. It's like they're like, no, look, he's actually good on the mic. And everybody's like, no, not really.
Right.
I start talking about like lucha things and stuff. Right. Like, who's the one that did that? He's like, I'm gonna go do a lucha thing. Kalisto, yes. Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
Samurai del Sol.
Yes. God, just terrible. Stop it. Stop with all of it. Just go flip.
All right, next match was I think they expected this to be like more of a awesome match, and I don't know, it just felt like they just didn't gel too well, but because I'm a Takeshita fan too, so I was really kind of paying attention to that one more. Next up, man, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this too, man, especially AJ. So Bobby Lashley defeated Swerve by ref stoppage via the Hurt Lock. Prince Nana ended up getting one too, which was funny. The fans fucking love this match. They pop for this one so much. You know what I mean? What do you guys think of Lashley being AEW? And what do you guys think of like, I felt like if you're going to debut a guy, like he should have went over on Swerve a little bit easier than this. Like this was, seemed a little too, but throw him right in the mix. What do you think of Lashley?
Champion?
Huh?
Yeah, what?
I was saying over the most recently former champion.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of thought that'd make Bobby look a little more elevated, even though I guess he did, tap, put him to sleep or whatever. So, I mean, I guess that's good when you're looking at it, but
I did. This is like the one debut, like the WWE performers going over to AEW that I've been excited about. For some reason, I've never been the biggest Bobby Lashley fan. I like Bobby Lashley, but this one I was excited about for some reason. I'm like, okay, Bobby Lashley's just going to go over there and just murder people. I'm like, it's going to be awesome. It's how he should have been in WWE the whole time because he's Bobby Lashley. Like, come on, like, look at the man. He was an MMA fighter. But so I think that I agree with you, DB, that he should have made it a little easier. Yeah, I guess they should have like let him Swerve a little bit more.
Yeah,
but Primo, like you said, he was the most recent champ, but he lost it, so he's obviously not that good now, is he?
And Swerve's lost like 3 straight big pay-per-view matches, so that's probably why they tried giving him like a little bit.
Yeah,
just have Lashley roll him over.
Right. Another thing too is like I've always thought that the Hurt Syndicate or the Hurt whatever they are now
Syndicate, you were right.
Yeah, Hurt
so
Syndicate.
Stupid.
Yeah,
I do hate that.
Yeah, I do think this is the best use of talent any company's ever did for Bobby Lashley. I think name a better role he's been in.
ECW December to December.
It wasn't. Even when he was champ, it wasn't better than this. He was just a strong, tough guy then.
Greatest feat of booking in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah, let's put him up on a box and have him cross his fingers and arms. And
Battle of the Billionaires. Shaving Vince McMahon's head.
Doom, 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 doom.
What a waste of a pay-per-view. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, but enough with the factions. Like, how come anyone can't just go and do things? Everyone has a faction with a stupid name in AEW. It's really annoying me. Like a lot.
And then the last match of the night was Johnny Mox retaining the AEW title over a bloody Orange Cassidy. It's a bloody main event. The Death Riders, Moxley's faction, if you will.
There you go. Stupid name.
I personally think that's a dumbass name too.
They tried to poison Orange with some kind of post-match. They tried to poison down his throat or something. They called it. I don't know. But
I love it when they always have like attempted murder as like a gimmick in the match. Like,
put a bag over his head and we'll try to let him poison down his throat. You know,
so fucking stupid.
Right.
It makes me not want to watch wrestling.
So Hangman Page makes the save. Christian Cage attempts to cash in. A lot going on here. Jay White, I think he was the one that comes out and crushes that. The Death Riders are leaving the arena. They're running, tailing out, and then Darby drives a car basically into their truck. They made it look like he was driving. He might have been driving. Hell, I wouldn't surprise me.
He probably was.
And then that's how we go home is, Darby, bloody, like, hi, like, I'm going to get you guys, I'm going to kill you guys or, whatever. Y'all ain't taking over this place, because that's, they're doing this Moxley's Death Riders are supposed to be doing this like mass takeover of AEW. So
didn't they just try that storyline with the like Super Duper Elite or whatever the fuck their name was? With like Jack Perry and fucking Young Bucks and all that shit.
Yes, but this is Moxley with a different gimmick. Exactly. It's Moxley, a different gimmick.
Oh, I hate AEW so much.
So, but I mean, what you guys think of the main event, man? They go home on this one. I wasn't a big fan of it. So, I don't know. Yeah,
me neither. I'll always be a Moxley fan, but no, I didn't care.
And I'm not, but I always try to watch his matches openly because for storyline purposes, but what's your take on this main event, Dylan?
I didn't love it. I wanted to love it,
sure.
And I just didn't. And the whole aftermath was a lot to follow.
Sure.
You're pouring chemicals down a guy's throat, and the next minute the guy's crashing his car. Like, what are we watching here? But yeah,
murder.
Just meh.
Yeah, I just don't know if I've said this in a while, but I feel like every time I'm watching WCW. Like,
oh my god,
the dumb shit that they did towards the end. You know what I mean? Or even just period. You know what I mean? And just
like the Vince Russo.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a poison on a pole match there pretty soon.
I literally watched a Nitro or Thunder a couple weeks ago where Hogan and Bischoff was like early '99. Throw like cleaning chemicals in Mongo's face. So yeah, it's literally just WCW.
Yeah,
so dumb.
What was it? The Godwins used to have the smut bucket or whatever.
The smut bucket.
Whatever, Yeah. So the Smelly Marcus Full Gear, man, to get out of here. I'm going at about a 6 on this one.
That is
like
generous.
Like, yeah, it probably is, but shit, I paid money for it, so I'm old.
Foolish fool.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
4.
Fair.
3.
Fair.
I give it a 3.
I wrote down 6 also. The Ospreay match was good enough.
Yeah.
It's not like it lower. But
that's basically the only thing that gets points.
For me, I like Jay and Adam.
See,
that was all right for me.
I just feel bad for Jay White. He's having such a shit time. I mean, he's getting treated just like garbage in AEW, and I don't like it.
I kind of felt like he knew, let's take the bag and then get the money, and then after that, so. But
AEW just overall cannot keep me intrigued or interested.
No.
All right, let me say this real quick. Didn't you hear this? That they're talking about in 2025 they're going to start running smaller arenas.
I think that's out of necessity, though, than anything else.
They were to try to do like more intimate settings for their dynamites and rampages and stuff. Have you heard this yet?
I hadn't heard it, but it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea too.
The 50 people that come to the show will actually be tighter.
Yeah.
They're going to start booking like the local like Knights of Columbus and stuff like that because that's about all they can get to fill.
The Moose Lodge.
The Moose Lodge.
Yeah, they're in St. Louis a week from tonight, and I haven't bought a ticket. I don't really plan on going.
Yeah, so, but where are they running the Enterprise Center? Or?
No, they run it's called Chaffetz. It's
okay. Smaller venue.
Yeah. St. Louis U's basketball.
Gotcha.
Arena. So it's a fairly good size, but I'm probably not going.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's get to WWE Survivor Series. But before we do, a word from Yo Slammer.
Yo, this is Slammer, and you're listening to Primo, DB, and AJ at the Sit Down Marks. And what you gonna do when Slammer Mania runs wild on you, brother?
All right, boys, the annual Thanksgiving tradition, WWE Survivor Series, November the 30th from Vancouver, British Columbia, 17,828 in attendance. This was a big one, man. The crowd was totally into this one. They pushed Raw going to Netflix a lot, like we talked about earlier on this show. They also said this was the highest grossing Canadian arena event ever. And I make sure I wrote down right by what they said because I was like, damn. But I was like, sure, Bret Hart didn't sell out some stadiums or something, but it's arena.
Did they forget to adjust that for inflation?
Yeah. So we let off with Women's War Games, which I like when they do this, booking the
War
Games. Liv, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia, Tiffany, Stratton, Candice LeRae versus Naomi, Bianca, Io Sky, Bailey, and Rhea. Crowd loved this match. They were totally into it from the beginning, but they probably don't go to Vancouver an awful lot, so I always try to take that into consideration. Like, probably hadn't been there a long time, so fans are going to be rabid anyway, but they were into it, so that always makes me happy. Lots of fun, solid spots. Io did her trash can. Looks like it's going to be it. Tiffany did an attempted cash in, but what do you think, Primo?
So, why would you put both women's champions on the same team as well as the Money in the Bank winner and then have them lose?
That was questionable. Yes, I totally agree with that.
It was so dumb. Like I didn't even realize they did that until they all came out, and then I was like, huh.
I know.
At this point, they're going to continue to put Io Sky in these matches because she's the most awesome part of the whole thing.
She really
is.
And
then the only other comment that I had about this match, because I'm trying to remember everything that I was texting my brother in real time as I was watching it, was Rhea repurposed her mask with horns on it. That was pretty cool.
Right. I liked when Tiffany was standing over Nia and Liv laid out.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? She's standing there and like the referee's right there. She's like contemplating the cash in, like which one do I do it on? Which one do I do it on? I thought that was probably the funnest part of the match to me. Babyface
it's
team
eventually got to be Nia, right?
Yeah. That's the best story, I think. Babyface team wins when Rhea gives Liv the riptide through a table. Man, is she looking in the mask added to it, but man, is she looking gothy these days, isn't she?
Pretty sick.
Yeah, they're like, okay, your whole goth gimmick up. Like do more.
Lean in. Yeah.
Hey, who didn't lean in? Nia and her chair shots. They sucked.
They were the worst.
Those were Hulk Hogan-esque, weren't they?
I mean, at least she wasn't like swinging for the fences on someone's face.
Hulk Hogan, yeah.
Dude. Is gently tapping on someone's back.
I thought this was good, man. This was fun. I thought they did a good job. Next up, let's talk about your boy Shinsuke winning the title. So this was good. I thought this was the new Shinsuke gimmick on the biggest stage so far. So So not only did he, get to kind of be on the big stage, but also win the title. But the crowd popped big time for LA, which I think he's one of the biggest pops in wrestling right now. Just, I think it's got a lot to do with the way he, him, but like, man, the way that entrance song starts out, when you hear LA, you're popping, and then like, it's awesome. So they were very into it. Shinsuke dominated the match though, man, and new US title, man. The crowd was definitely shocked at this one. So this was good, man. Yeah, good refresh for Shinsuke. Let's keep him up now. You know what I mean? Let's don't let him have a run, and just go off TV for months and months.
He's going to lose to. I will bet money that he will lose to Carmelo Hayes in 2 months. Wait, when's the next Rumble? No, that's too soon. What's the one after Rumble?
They'll probably
December,
do like
TLC. I don't know. I don't remember which one.
They'll have a day one for New Year's.
Yeah, then right then.
He might lose it to Andrade though.
Yeah,
I can see that in a triple threat or 4-way or something like that. Speaking of U.S. titles, do you guys see they're doing a tournament for women's U.S. title and women's Intercontinental title?
Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Do you think they looked at AEW? They're like, hey, look at all them belts. We need more of them belts. Let's throw some more in here.
Yeah, I think they're looking more at the quality too. Like, boys have a mid-card title, girls should have one, vice versa. The girls have two now because, the boys do too, but usually they're on separate shows. That's probably what I'm assuming they'll do put the U.S. men's title on the same show as like the women's Intercontinental title, so they can have both, you know what I mean? But
and they have the depth for it now. Like, not that long ago, there's no way they could have had 2 world titles and 2 mid-card titles for the women. That would have been the whole women's roster.
It'd be like 4 women just slingshot all 4 titles.
Yeah. Next up was the Intercontinental title, Sheamus versus Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. They always bring up, that Sheamus needs the IC title to complete the Grand Slam, so that's always get tossed about. So it always puts a little something in your head that, that he might win. But I thought this was a pretty hard-hitting match by all. Some nice spots. I thought this elevated Ludwig and Braun pretty good. Braun wins by a spear on Sheamus. Still, again, let's go back to this. Like, if your champ on top or one of your top guys is doing the spear as his finisher, like, nobody else should be doing that. Nobody else did the stunner. Nobody else did the sharpshooter. Nobody else did the
super kick,
the leg drop. The super kick. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Boy, we really blown that one out of the water. That's in every match now, So
several times.
Yeah, but Sheamus, man, fucking workhorse, man. The dude got these guys over in this one.
Can we talk about Sheamus's like late career resurgence? If Sheamus is in a match, I'm excited for it. Like he has just gone balls to the wall with his fucking work rate, and I am here for it. I was never the biggest Sheamus fan ever, but I don't know. Like, it's fucking awesome. Every match is fucking awesome with Sheamus in it.
Yeah. He really does have bangers.
Yeah.
Banger after banger after banger.
After banger after banger.
And Braun and the spear. He has a mean spear. But
he does have a good one.
It's fast.
I agree. I do agree with you on that, Dirty. Also, I don't even know why the fuck he has the title again, but that's just a whole other thing. I'm not saying that I am not a Braun Breaker fan, but okay,
he's not blowing our doors off.
You needed Jey Uso to go play with the Bloodline, so let's give Braun back the title.
Right, and it's just a tough guy gimmick. Let's just call it what it is. Just a tough guy gimmick. He's got lineage. You know what I mean? I'd be fucking barking like a dog all the time. Like you know what I mean? But I think he will once he's a face. You know what I mean? I think he'll probably do that more. But it's just a tough guy gimmick. Dude, super fast, thinking he can wrestle, but, it's just, I'm a badass. That's kind of it, you know what I mean? So, next match was the World Heavyweight title, Gonta, the champ, versus Damian Priest. Gunther retains by a choke after Finn Balor interferes and hurts Priest outside. and now they're doing a little Gunther Finn Balor program. This is okay. You know what I mean? They feel like they had to. To me, I thought they were going to let Gunther go over clean after losing to Cody at Crown Jewel. Maybe I'm just thinking into this too much. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean. And so he won, but kind of with Finn's help. But what you guys think of this one?
So, two things. First off, are they gonna feed everybody to fucking Gunther? Like, you guys know how I feel about this dude.
Sure.
I don't think he's a bad wrestler, or I don't even think he's bad at all. I just
like his gimmick is classic throwback
oh
wrestler,
my God.
Right?
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. But and he's like fucking untouchable. So let's feed the whole roster of everybody that's awesome to him.
Sure.
So I guess Finn's next on the death list. Anyway, you know what else happened on Survivor Series, or should I say didn't happen? We had a heavyweight championship match, but not a WWE championship match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Cody wasn't on it either.
Cody wasn't there.
And Seth wasn't on it either. I noticed that. Honestly, I noticed Seth and didn't notice Cody. That's weird.
Same. Oh my God. I'm glad you said that.
We're gonna talk about it later, but Cody's championship run is burned out.
No one cares anymore.
All right, last match. Let's get to it. New Bloodline versus Old Bloodline with CM Punk. First of all, LOL at the Sunday Night Football intros that they did with the Bloodline.
Those are good.
Oh my God.
That was funny.
Dude.
Those were really funny.
I was like, what is it? This is great.
They were really, really funny. I thought those were good.
Sokoa, it was fun shit. The Roman Punk dissension a lot during the match. Punk would end up helping Roman during the match by pulling him off a table so he wouldn't get splashed on by Bronson Reed. Yeah, exactly. Pull me off that table. And so the OG Bloodline wins after basically everyone doing their finishes on Solo, and Roman Spear Solo for the 1, 2, 3. They said it was kind of like for control of the Bloodline. I haven't watched Raw yet from this week, so I don't know where they went with it. But, let's just get back to one Bloodline, or there's got to come to a close. But it looks like I want to see Roman and Punk at Rumble. One, because we're going to be there.
Yeah.
Two, because I think it's going to be a hell of a story. I think it'd be good. And, they're playing off Punk doing a favor for, Heyman's reason why he helped out, and so there's going to be, dissension there. But that could have been the last Bloodline match I'd ever seen. I'd be totally happy with it. Right.
So let me see if you guys notice this as well. Because once all of them were in the ring, both teams, it was so embarrassingly apparent which team were the stars and which team were the create a wrestler Samoan template team.
Right, yeah.
The Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Sami Zayn even, I think is a massive star. And even the Usos against
mid-carders,
non-charisma fucking Samoan team.
That's what I said. I said even when Roman was gone, you expect me to believe that, way back whenever, Tama Tonga and Tagaloa and fucking Solo Sikoa, lots of fucking syllables right there. Anyway, when they were beating Cody and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a 6-man match, I'm like, you expect me to believe these guys are beating Hall of Famers?
Yeah, fuck off. Just fuck off.
But anyway, I actually really was excited for this match. I am the Bloodlines, the OG Bloodline storyline is a guilty pleasure of mine still. Mm-hmm. So, and I was very happy to see the Usos back together doing their thing.
Super kicks.
And Yeah, no, it was cool. There was one part. So at the beginning, when Tama Tonga was crawling around the cage like he was Mario.
That was like Mario. And wait. Like Bowser's Super Mario.
He just spin it. Anyway, gamers will get that. Anyway, I texted my
best reference he
brother, and I was like, "Why does Tama Tonga feel like he is like the mini boss that you have to fight before you get to Solo?"
Like he's one of the Koopa kids, and
before you get to Solo. Well,
Solo's Bowser.
Bronson Reed's tsunami off of the top of the cage.
Holy shit! Bronson Reed was in this match.
Yeah, he's hurt. He got hurt from that too, I believe.
Jesus, he did. Yeah. No, I mean, cool. I was cool with it. I thought the story and the alpha pissing match that Punk and Reigns had going on was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu's legit. Jacob,
is he? I mean, is he though?
Yeah.
He is. I mean, I know that he actually is.
Dude,
I love you, Solo.
He's so good.
In this current iteration, I could give a fuck about Jacob Fatu. Like any of them, I'm like, I don't. Sure.
Jacob Fatu's good, man. He might be the best Samoan wrestler I've ever seen. I'm just being honest, man. He's just agile. But I want to say this, man. A little hit from home. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Xavier Sky, who's a big prominent wrestler in
fucking love Xavier
Iron Spirit Pro. Yeah, he makes gear for wrestlers, and he made Jacob Fatu's pants.
Did he really?
Wow.
Sure did.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, go look him up on Top Flight Designs, I believe it is. Go check him out on Xavier Sky on Facebook. Yeah, he's got it posted all over there. So
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So smelly mark this thing, boys, before we move on here. I'm gonna sit about a 7 on this. Didn't wow me, but didn't make me upset.
So I'm gonna say also a 7, but I also have a question for the rest of you. Are we starting to lean towards Survivor Series no longer being a Big Four?
Man, Money in the Bank should replace it.
Or even Elimination Chamber should replace. Yeah, so, I mean it's
not
fun.
Elimination Chamber. I don't think.
I mean, I was just trying to think of another one that
sure.
Could.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, man. Like ever since they kind of like stopped doing the team thing, it's the fourth of the 4 for sure.
Yeah,
without
like
there's a big
distant
margin.
4.
Yeah, there's a big margin. Yeah. So yeah. I say Money in the Bank probably number 1. Elimination Chamber might be right there too. I don't know what other like gimmick ones they do.
Great Balls of Fire.
TLC ain't big enough.
Capital Punishment,
Bad Blood, and all that stuff. But yeah. I think because I mean, which
Day
one you
one.
get more excited for, Money in the Bank or Survivor Series?
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, and you get 2 Money in the Bank matches now. So just like but smelly market there. Dylan, what do you think?
I was back and forth between a 7 and an 8. So let's just call it a 7.5.
Fair.
The War Games, I liked both matches. I just don't like that everybody that comes in has to take 45 seconds to go grab a bunch of weapons and then get in the cage.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good point.
But that's my only real gripe with the War Games matches. I really like the show. I'd go 7.5.
Before we get to the go home segment, Primo, you want to talk about Cody's title reign?
Do I not get to rate it?
Oh,
you
I'm sorry. I thought you already said it earlier. My bad.
15 out of 10.
Oh yeah, that's how many.
Shinsuke
boobs
Nakamura,
Homer's
15 out of 10. Rest of it, 5 out of 10. 15. So the aggregate, we'll give it a 7 as well. 15. That's how many boobs I saw today.
All right, so Cody's title reign, we think it's falling off?
Personally, I think it's kind of stale. It's admittedly it's on SmackDown. I just feel like he's not the main attraction on SmackDown right now. Also, I feel like the company, even though he beat Gunther at fucking whatever that's called over there, Crown Jewel, that stupid match that they had with the championships. I don't care about that. But he beat Gunther. Besides that, I feel like WWE treats Gunther way more like their champion than Cody.
Right.
And besides the fact that he was on like Jimmy Fallon or whatever it was recently.
Yeah, he was.
But
and
beyond that, he wasn't on Survivor Series because they're trying to promote Saturday night's main event coming up. He's in a feud with Kevin Owens. Which is fine. But right now, I feel like you know how with Gunther, we are supposed to feel like most of the roster can't beat him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that way with Cody.
That's fair. No, it's totally fair. Yeah, it's totally fair.
Well, plus, look, all of us missed Seth from Survivor Series. None of us missed Cody.
Right. I know.
That's a bad. That's a damning,
and also too, and maybe it's something to be said about the fact that he has kind of a shitty spot because he's coming right off the heels of an almost 4-year reign of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough when you know Roman was so dominant for so long. Then now you just have a champion who's been champion since WrestleMania, and he's fought solo a couple times, and I don't remember who else, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel like anyone in that position taking it off of Roman whole title run was going to be defined by the chase for the title.
I would say his chase was way better than his run.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to fall off. That's inevitable for anyone that would have taken the title off him.
And that happens a lot when a babyface is chasing a heel champion.
Yeah.
You know, it's like once the elation of,
and it's like, okay, cool. That's why heel champions
you go
are
back
just
to see him get
better.
his ass beat, right?
I was going to say, I mean, we got a glimpse of heel Cody in the Indies before, when he left WWE the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now would be that time. You know, he was a great heel.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Got to. All right, boys, before we get to the go home segment, how about a word from our friends at SportsWire Radio?
Looking for all the latest happenings in the world of sports and wrestling? Well, you're in luck because SportsWire Radio has you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. With great shows in the world of sports, such as the Pinstripe Chronicles, hosted by Uncle Tats, Donald Stewart, and Rob Barrows. New York Baseball Talk with Chris Bazaya and Rob Maraska. The Liftoff Jets, also hosted by Chris Bazaya and Sharman Phillip. Neil Villapiano and the Devil's State of Mind. Randy Dillon's Hockey Fan Chat. In the world of wrestling, SportsWire Radio has you covered with Squared Circle Radio, featuring Chris Belcher, Andy York, and Jared Justice. Those sit-down marks with DB, Primo, AJ, and Michael. A work in progress, featuring the Mayor of Canton, Piles, and Glenn Abbott. You can catch all of these great shows and more anytime, anywhere, and any place via the Listen Live button on SportsWireRadio.org, and you can also catch SportsWire Radio anytime on YouTube at SportsWire Radio 6579 to catch all the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. SportsWire Radio has you covered. It's all sports matters and all wrestling matters here on SportsWire Radio. I am your host, the owner of SportsWire Radio, the #1 global radio station, the owner of the Promo Wrestling Federation, and one of the owners of the Pride Wrestling Federation. Your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Reverend Tom Bryce over at sportswireradio.org. Go check us out over there each and every week. All right, it's time to go home, guys. Let's talk about some things going on this weekend. But obviously, first, I want to say thank you to everybody that's downloaded the podcast lately. We want to thank everybody, all the new listeners checking us out. Welcome to the neighborhood. We think you're going to like it here. We hope you stay. And just want to thank you guys for checking us out. We appreciate it. And all right, so this weekend, man, now, you know, I always get excited about Dreamwave shows. You know, like I get super pumped. My favorite one of the year is Good as Gold. I mean, that's just what it is, right? And that one comes along in December every year, and it is time this weekend, man. It's, you know, I'm hitting the road tomorrow morning. Dylan's hitting the road too, man, and we're headed to 209 Gooding Street in LaSalle, Illinois, where Dreamwave Uprising 4, which is, if you don't know, is the Dreamwave women's division of athletes. They have their own show 3 times a year, I believe it is, on Fridays, and to bookend the other Dreamwave show on Saturday. So 3 times a year we have Double Shot Weekend, and this is the one coming up this year. And not only do we get to have a Good as Gold Rumble on Saturday, we get to have a Good as Gold Women's Rumble for the very first time. And what that means is 30 women will enter the ring, just regular Rumble rules. Winner gets a briefcase inside a contract stating they can have a shot at any title within the next year. So Dylan, man, let's talk about Uprising 4 coming up this Friday, man. The Rumble's going to be crazy. 30 women, a lot of, it's hard to really kind of talk about that because we don't know who all's in it yet. You know what I mean? So, let's kind of talk about, what has been announced. Now the big one, man, got to be the main event is going to be Maggie Lee, who is the Dreamwave Women's Champion. She's taking on Zeta Steele. Zeta Steele, fresh off a tour of Japan. She's fresh off getting WWE ID'd just like a couple weeks ago. This is a rivalry that's been going on for quite a while. Hell of a main event here, Dylan. What do you think?
Yeah, this is one of the matches I'm most excited for all weekend. Massive fan of Maggie Lee. She's coming off 2 Match of the Year contender title defenses against Megan Bain. And like you said, Zeta's coming back from Japan. We haven't seen her wrestle at Dreamwave in a while. I'm excited to have her back. I like Maggie to retain, but I think they're going to tear it down.
All right, I want to note too that I'm asking Dylan, and we're going to talk about these because I'm not allowed to give one way or the other because I think I'm going to be working this weekend. So I'm not going to say either way, but I definitely want to talk about them though. The Dreamwave Women's alternative title, RJS is the one single only champion so far. And she's putting the title up against another girl who just got WWE ID'd a few weeks ago in Kylie Ray. Now, this one's, this face versus face here, man. This is, the lovable faces of LaSalle. They love both these girls, man. What do you, how do you call this one, right?
Yeah, and Kylie, we're not in Chicago technically, but we're close enough. Chicago loves Kylie. I don't see them rooting against her by any means. This one is so hard to call because Rebecca's had that title for a little bit now. Is she coming near the end of her reign? Is Kylie going to be able to take it? I like Rebecca to retain, but it's 49-51. This one can go either way.
Yep. A couple other matches on the card. Not many matches announced because, of course, the Rumble's going to be on, but a couple more. Sierra versus Becca. Becca returning after, Dreamwave, after not being with us for a little while. But she is returning. Sierra, one of the, toughest on the indie scene right now. She's the AEW Women's Champion. She's held titles in a lot of other places. Solid matchup here. High end versus Brooke Havoc is going to be solid. High end, she's a workhorse if I've seen one, in women's division. Big one there. Another one that might be fun too, man. Let me know what you think about this. I know you want to talk about this one. How about this triple threat match, man? Whoever wins this one's probably going to, kind of have a foot in the door of possibly a title shot maybe. Gabby Forza coming back for the first time. Last time she was at Dreamwave, she broke her nose. So hopefully not the same thing happens this time. Ivy Malibu, a big contender in Dreamwave, and then your girl Shaza McKenzie, like she always, always a threat no matter what match that she's in. So, this one's big for all 3 of these girls.
Right. Yeah, and all 3 of these girls have been announced for Good as Gold also.
Nice.
So got to keep an eye on that. And Gabby has had a bunch of momentum up in the Northeast that Beyond and Limitless. She's been a force up there. I'm excited to see her down in the Midwest, see if she can keep that momentum going. And of course, you can never count out Shaza. She's always a threat to steal a win.
For sure.
Ivy's a prospect on the rise. This is going to be a good triple threat.
Yeah, man. Like I said, big show. both of these shows, Friday and Saturday, are going to be live on IWTV. We're sold out inside the Knights of Columbus building. But make sure you guys check this one out, man. First ever Friday night. We're going to crown the first ever Good as Gold women's champion, women's winner. And so that's going to be fun. Saturday night, man, the Good as Gold Rumble for the men. This thing could go 1,000 different ways. We got the big Christian Rose versus Connor Hopkins match finally for the Dreamwave title. A lot of things going on here. A lot of things happen here. What do you think about Connor and Rose?
Yeah, I'm just glad we're finally seeing it. It feels like quite a while ago that Connor turned on him. They're the last two guys to win Good as Gold, so that's a fun little factoid. I like Connor to retain. I don't know if it'd be a clean victory or not. Those damn Coyotes are going to be out and about. Love Rose, love Hopkins, so this is going to be a real good match. I like Hopkins to keep it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be big. And one more match I want to talk about, but before we go home, we got to talk about your guys, man. The new guys. You got their hat on right now.
Yes, sir.
They showed up at Dreamwave at the last show, did a little run in after the match, and, and all of a sudden they find themselves in a Dreamwave tag team title match. They just won the Glory Pro tag team titles, and now they can add the Dreamwave tag team titles to their trophy case, so to speak. But the hype, the local boys, the one of the best tag teams on the scene right now, but all four guys hungry. I'm expecting a match of the night out of these guys. This is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I'm real big fans of the hype. They've had some of the best matches I've seen at Dreamwave, but I can't go against my guys, the new guys,
your boys,
Scotty and Jake. They've only been wrestling a little over a year, maybe a year and a half. There's no way they should be as good as they already are. Like you said, they just won Glory Pros tag titles. They've got WrestleMax tag titles. They've been breaking out. They're on the road every weekend, down south, Midwest, just wherever. I'm like you. I think it's going to be probably match of the night. It's going to be up in contention for sure. And I don't think this is going to be the only hype versus new guys match we see. I think we're going to see quite a few of these going forward.
Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I want to remind you, this Friday and Saturday, Dreamwave Wrestling, man, comes on Friday night, 7 o'clock, Saturday night, 6 o'clock. That is Central Time. And check it out, man. It's some of the absolute very best independent professional wrestling, and it's going down Friday and Saturday night, man. So check it out on Independent Wrestling TV. I know you hear me say IWTV a lot, but yeah, it's Indie Wrestling TV, indiewrestling.tv, I believe. But you can punch in IWTV, it'll come up and show you there. So yeah, man. But I am super looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be awesome. A couple more things I want to talk about. Iron Spirit Pro, last show of the year. Next Saturday, December the 14th. AJ's got the shirt on today.
Look at my boobs.
The main event, they're crowning the very first Iron Spirit Pro downstate champion. Match should be announced here pretty soon, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Also want to take this time, too, to announce the next guest on the pod. I'm going to be sitting down with him next week. You don't get to talk or see too many wrestlers from Finland, but next week I'm going to be sitting down with a guy named Mikko Maestro, big international wrestler. You've seen him in Zowwave, you've seen him at Dreamwave, you've seen him a lot of different wrestling promotions. OVW he's been on, so he's going to be sitting down with me, and we're going to be talking about his career so far and all his influence and stuff. So make sure you guys check it out. Also want to let you guys know here in a couple weeks too, another guy coming back to the pod. We're going to be talking to him about his latest career, and he's going to be reviewing Saturday night's main event with us. Coming back to the pod, good old Hartenbauer. He's going to be back here in just a couple weeks. Going to be talking about his injury, rehab, what's his plans for 2025, and he's coming on to help us break down Saturday night's main event, talking about that. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And last but not least, man, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to us. The podcast grew a lot in 2024, and we're super excited about it. We're running up on 4 years of doing this thing, and we've been grinding, and to finally see a lot of downloads and interest in the pod. It's really cool to see. So I want to thank everybody for that in 2024, and also want to just briefly let you guys know, the pod will always be the same with the voices, but and next year, we're going to be changing up the format just a little bit. We'll still be touching on pay-per-views and the big things going on in wrestling, but we're going to be kind of changing over to a little more of a topic-based podcast. We're going to be talking about kind of the big things going on in the world of wrestling. One of my early subjects I want to talk about is in January is just to kind of give you an idea is what other wrestling is there out there, besides the big two, the big two, then who is what I'm calling it. Big two, then who, because, a lot of people might not know about MLW, and they might not know about Dreamwave. They might not know about New Japan. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about all that, probably bring Dylan, back on with us too, because, he's a little more, experienced in some other promotions that I might, be. So, we kind of all talk about that, but just, other things in the wrestling world and stuff too. But, it'll still be the same with just a little bit of the twist more involved. But I'm super happy. I want to thank everybody for watching on YouTube and Facebook and downloading the pod. We've had a really big year, and I'm super, super excited for it. So, enough of my voice and everybody else's. Well, thank you guys for downloading today. Dylan, thank you, brother, for coming back on, man. Really do appreciate it. Good to see you again. Hope to see you on the pod more in the future. And we got AJ back today.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. So always happy to see AJ back. Primo, brother, appreciate you, man. I hope, I'll see you guys all again, obviously, for the end of the year, but hope you guys all have a good Christmas holiday, man, and be safe, and hope it all goes well. And just want to thank y'all for your contributions. So
thank you for your contributions.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dylan, for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me back. This has been
absolutely,
a blast.
man. Yep. We look forward to hanging out with you this weekend. It's always fun to see double shot weekends, and so it's gonna be fun, man. And looking forward to breakfast on Saturday, our traditional breakfast. So looking forward to that, man.
Shout out Tori.
Shout out Tori. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. So,
you guys have fun, by the way, assholes.
You can join us. We'll be there.
I have to go see Elf Friday night. That's what I get to do. You guys have fun with your little show. I'm going to Elf.
All right. I want to thank everybody listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, SportsWire Radio. I want to thank everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook. Appreciate you guys tuning into the podcast. We'll see you guys here next week when I'm sitting down with Miko Maestro. I am DB for AJ, Primo, and Dylan. We are top guys, and we are out. So today at work, I had some downtime, man. I watched the Bray Wyatt documentary on Peacock, and you guys.
That's like a year later, dude.
I know. I'm just now getting around to it. I felt like shit that I hadn't. That's the reason why. Thank you. I'm glad you said that, because that's why I was getting to this. I was like, I can't believe it took me this long to watch it, man. Like, I was moved by this, man. It was so good. I was like,
sad. It was
I was so sad, man. Like. Man,
damn, and we're already not talking about the Wyatt Six anymore.
I know, and I didn't know Uncle Howdy's real name was Taylor. Now I'm ruined.
Yeah, Taylor.